using a keyboard that has no program sounds, and you're brave enough to do that on stage?
Well, I mean, though it's definitely made its way into quite a lot of the recordings, I feel like it's definitely like a desert island synth for me. Not going to sell it anytime soon. For live, it's it's very useful for like noise swells and just kind of textural stuff, in particular because it's got the two noise generators. So I do a lot of like noise to pitch modulation. It's got like the range of its LFO is pretty insane, so you can do a lot of really crazy swells on the fly. And then of course, I'll incorporate it for melodies and stuff, but you just kind of got to accept that it's going to sound different every night, essentially.
That filter really cuts through in the mix too.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's always, to me, like, the reason I like it is it's kind of the most punk synth. I mean, other than maybe like the Wasp or something like that, like I feel like it's got these like really aggressive filters, and that's definitely my favorite quality about them.
And what do you have on top of it though?
This is an Empress Super Delay, so it's got a few different functions. It's got tap tempo. It's got some sort of like tape emulation type stuff, which is really just kind of like a mild pitch LFO that, and I think it kind of low pass filters it a little bit. But it's kind of just like the delay pedal that everybody got comfortable with. So like Max has one too, and we've got a few like backup ones. Like I feel like in 2009 I bought like 4 of them, and they just, they always kind of find their way on stage somehow.
Yeah. Can you tell me briefly what you use in the studio, or that you have in your collection?
Of course. Well, that's the thing. I mean, as much as like the GR77 gets used in the studio, and a lot of its engine, I guess, is it based on the JXP or the Juno series?
I don't remember.
It's a bit, definitely like an 80s polyphonic Roland synth sound, but for a while, I mean, I'd say like first couple records, it was definitely like Juno stuff. I had a 60, I had a 6, and the 106 at different points in time. The whole first record was Prophet 08, but then as the years have gone on, the synths that I keep coming back to are the MS-20. In the studio, I've got like a Voyetra 8. I've got a Korg PS3100, Mini Moog, Poly Ensemble. Specifically for the record I've been working on, I've been using a lot of the 70s Korg stuff. So obviously the Poly Ensemble and the 3100 have made their way into a lot of the songs. I just got the Korg 700S, I think, the micro Korg. No, the mini Korg. It's like the 70s. It's like the Human League, totally,
Greg Hawk's cars.
Exactly.
And you have a memory mode also, is that right?
Memory mode as well. Yeah. Definitely. It's like, it's finicky. It's not, obviously for bass and for leads, it is insane. It's got weird envelopes, so if you want like kind of bouncy 80s pads or brass type stuff, like it's not really a workhorse synth. Like if you're going for a very specific aim, it will do, like if you want to sound like, I don't know, like Thomas Dolby or Trevor Horn kind of production stuff, just like really big kind of unison sounds, I think it's really good for that. But it's got like a time and place. It's not necessarily like my workhorse synth.
Yeah. It's a cool one to have around.
Oh, totally. I mean, it looks incredible. It's like a Cadillac, And then got a more like exotic boutique stuff. I've got the Buchla Music Easel. That also is kind of, good for very specific things. I had a SID station for a while, which definitely was used heavily on the second record, primarily because I was trying to get like a lot of 8-bit type sounds, and it's essentially based. It actually uses a SID card, from the Commodore. And then I'm trying to think. That's most of the gamut. I mean, there's a Mini Moog, there's the Ensoniq Bismo, which we were talking about earlier. That one I'm still taming, still figuring out exactly, because it's like transwave synthesis. Yep. Which, is a new one for me. I've had little experience with wavetable. And then honestly, I mean, with this new record, like, I specifically want a 70s sound because there's a lot of like, William Onyebar, or kind of, I feel like a lot of his sound was like the Elka string synth, and the Korg 700S. So I've been trying to find little. I got a couple of Soviet things, like the Electronica EM26, which is kind of their like Roland vocoder, built-in string synth kind of thing, and that very much so has a very unique string sound. It's not really like a Crewmore orchestrator or something like that. It's a little rattier sounding. The Wasp, I don't have a Wasp, but I have a clone, the Jasper, which, had to build, and it was definitely laborious to say the least.
But you built it yourself?
Yeah. Like basically, I mean, they sell you the basic kit, but you still got to order the bill of materials. And a buddy of mine and I just we ordered 2 kits, and we just, it's when you're building 2 at a time. If he runs into a problem first, by the time that I get there, I'll already have some context for it, or maybe my synth will have some issue. So it's been good. It's been like a learning curve.
So you're not afraid to work a soldering iron?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I do clean soldering work, but in terms of the actual schematics and stuff, like I know so little about it. I mean, I think that the only thing I built before that was like an old Paya, like rack-mounted multi-band distortion type thing. But this was a lot more involved.